Hey Simmers!
Hi everyone!
Welcome to Make 2 and another Sims 4 house tour of our university, which is in progress. If you guys have not caught the first two videos we did where we talked about the administration building and the student dormitory, then check out the video description below for links. In this video, we are going to do the library.
This is the third building, not the final building I think, but this is looking wonderful. What every university needs is, of course, a library, so the students can edumacate themselves.
Edumacate, nice. The library is only on 2 floors. I was not well, actually, there's a basement, but I wasn't feeling terribly ambitious. I think, as you'll see, there are going to be plenty of bookcases and books inside anyway. And, you know, nowadays most studying is done electronically and not with, like, physical books, I would assume. As you can see, there will be more landscaping later. We just are not quite sure exactly of the configuration for like pathways through campus and stuff like that, so I'm just leaving that for now. But here is the front approach up these steps to this raised deck here.
Yeah, and I like the columns and the overhang from the second floor, acting like a little porch area to the first floor. It's very nice.
Yeah, and I went with this sort of rustic look throughout, but mixed with green to keep it kind of, you know, modern and I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but that's what I went with for the aesthetic.
But I'd say in terms of style, we've got an old building for the admin building. The student dorms are probably the 2000s or 2010s, and I think this building is more like an 80s, 90s design. What do you think?
Yeah, sure. Possibly, yeah. All right, this is the main room. Here we've got the circulation desk with some books there. I think I'm going to try and put a computer on it, but because of the way these counters are facing, like computers would only face out, which doesn't quite make sense for a circulation desk manned by a person in this space here. But, you know. On either side, we've got stacks, as they call them in the library business. And then back here, we've got more stacks. I think of these maybe as for like different types of reading, and then obviously there's a magazine rack.
That's a nice
people.
touch. Yeah. I like those sort of more accent bookcases you have there with all the shelves at the bottom. That's cool.
Back here, we've got a row of computers, public use for students who just need to be checking their email when they're out and about on campus, or maybe the card catalog for the library.
Exactly. I remember accessing the card catalog from systems like that. And I can see there's also a librarian's trolley.
Indeed, there are going to be a few of these throughout. And just noting that this is the staircase, or one of the staircases up to the next floor. Here's another one. And there are stacked staircases down to the basement, which we're going to check out obviously soon. Here is a seating area for students to just chill if they want to talk, study, whatever. Here is downstairs bathroom for women. I think the bathrooms downstairs maybe are for disabled students, disabled access. Unfortunately, with Sims, you know, you can't get ramps.
Yeah.
You've got to deal with steps. But let's just assume that if there were ramps available in the game, they would be there.
And elevators.
And elevators as well, yeah.
Yeah, it would be nice to have those and have it a bit more accessible generally in the game.
So just symmetrically, we've got the men's bathroom over here. And another... sofa. Yeah.
That's nice.
Sort of differently configured seating area there compared to the one on the left side.
I think that style of soft seating actually works really well in the library. It's not super formal, but also it's not that informal either. It's still got a little bit of, you know, university library vibe about it.
And I just wanted to go with some brighter colors because the rest of the library obviously is kind of beige.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Now, going up to the next floor,
wow,
we get
this is not kind of beige. Look at that floor.
Again, I just wanted to like do something a little bit different and have some color popping out. But the 2 staircases, they come out on either side here into, again, another stairwell with seating, and the same over here. This time, because it's upstairs, I just went for some of these plants hanging in the windows. I thought that would be a nice sort of touch.
And I like the floor-to-ceiling wraparound windows on almost every surface. It's really nice, particularly in those alcove areas where the seating is. It's really cool. So
just wanted to point out, here is an overlook down into the main floor. It was similar to what we've got in the admin building up here in the left-hand corner of the screen, but I just thought that was a nice touch. And let's see, we've got a couple of private study rooms here.
Yeah, they would be in hot demand come exam time.
and a couple more here symmetrically again.
Yeah.
Now, if we walk this way, you have another computer bank for students to use, more seating options, and also a couple of bathrooms. These are more public, so they've got stalls here. If I put the walls up, you can see how that works.
I think we just have to move that.
Oh, you're right
door
about
there.
that. Sorry, guys.
Let's put that there.
Silly me. Yeah.
Live building.
Yeah, see, this is why we always say before we put any build of ours on the gallery, we need to go through and like fix stuff like this as well. So yeah, that's why we always say we will put things eventually on the community gallery, but we just need to go through and test first. All right, so that is the second floor of the library. And
Yeah. Can I ask, is that floor one whole pattern, or did you have to do every square individually?
Well,
to get the different colours?
No, I mean, it's one pattern.
One pattern, okay.
Yeah, and then you just do like the shift and hold down and fill the entire room with it.
Cool.
Yeah. So let's go down to the basement. Again, accessible via one of these two staircases.
Yeah.
And that just lets down here into a small area. Let me put the walls up so you can see what I did. Basically, there's a whole row.
Oh, that's nice.
I sort of think of this as like, not the restricted section exactly, but like a research-oriented section. So this is where you get like really proper reference books as opposed to upstairs, you know?
Really?
Well, like,
you don't have
like this is the hardcore reference books.
I was going to say you have maybe like general reference on the first floor, humanities on the second floor, science is in the basement because science nerds. In my university library, or one of my university libraries, one I used to go to, in the basement here, it would be all the archives. So you'd have these,
there you go,
these bookshelves that you'd have to wind the big handle, because all the bookshelves would basically be all smushed together, and there's across the whole wall there's just space for one gap, so you'd wind it to make yourself a little space, walk in between the bookcases you wanted.
Let's say that's what I was doing. Okay. On either side, you've got bathrooms again. This is the male bathroom, you know, stalls and all of that. So there was basically just trying to opt for a bathroom on every floor. And then back here we have study cubicles. Now these are going to have to be tested before, again, you know, we release the build on the gallery, and just I wanted to make sure that there is actually enough space in here for a sim to go in and sit down.
And actually sit.
Yeah. But this is just modeled after my particular university where students had cubicles to study.
Were they underground?
No, they were upstairs actually, but you've never come across this kind of thing?
Well, I do remember where I was lucky enough when I was getting to exam time, I managed to find my spot in the library, or spots in the library that would have some natural light.
Yes, of course natural light is preferable, but you know, you can't get it
depends on what you can get,
Anyway, there are, I don't know if you guys noticed, but there were a couple of doors on either side here, and that is because, as we've mentioned before in the previous videos, we're going to try and do like basement passages between the buildings on campus.
Because as it stands,
this over here is the administrative building.
And that's the stuff.
This is the student dorm.
And actually the whole of this basement area, everything you can see on screen right now is actually one giant room with different rooms for the buildings inside of that giant room. So we've already built it so you can have lots of connections, just so we know sort of what the state of things we need to do is. But there's going to hopefully be connections and stuff in the basement, possibly sub-basement. That might be a bit too ambitious because I don't know what could be in the sub-basement.
It could just be passageways in the sub-basement and everything else is actual functional space.
Although the more I think about it, I've now got a couple of ideas.
Alright, so stay tuned guys for more of those ideas if we can manage to get them to work. So please let us know in the comments what you think. Feel free to subscribe if you are new to our channel. And there will be plenty more Sims 4 on the way.
Thanks for watching.